welcome to this week's video. In our last video you saw us on the Isle of Skye photographing Slickergan in the snow with the Cullen Mountains as the backdrop. It's been a few weeks since then, and I think in that video we said we were going to head over to Glencoe, which we did, but we didn't make a full video from there. So that's a few weeks ago, and we're back on Skye again, which is fantastic to have the opportunity to come back over. So we've come out to a well-known place, Neist Point Lighthouse. It's probably been photographed millions and billions of times before, but we've never actually been to photograph it. We've only ever visited Neist Point once before, and we didn't even actually come and see the lighthouse. We just had a little bit of a wander. So we've come down for sunset. The sun is going to set in the west to my right, and it's forecast and is actually looking to be pretty good. We've got some nice cloud coverage. The sun, where it's going to set, it looks like there is a little bit of a gap on the horizon. It's difficult to tell because it's so bright, but hopefully we're going to get a decent sunset. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've wandered around a little bit to start with, trying to make use of all these great big rocks and boulders in the foreground. The ground is a mess, to be honest. I think they've probably had quite a bit of heavy rain with a lot of footfall through here, and the ground is just not the best. So I'm trying to pick out a composition that doesn't include that. So just focusing at the minute on this group of rocks, which I think leads nicely out towards Neist Point. So we've got two sort of big boulders in the immediate foreground, little bit of mid-ground here with this absolutely beautiful cliff edge, and we've got the structures of the rock with the tide just coming in, and on a long exposure it's picking up that white around those rocks, which is looking pretty nice. And then obviously in the distance there we've got the lighthouse. So what I'm struggling with a little bit is trying to get the height really to make sure that the top of this cliff doesn't poke above the horizon, doesn't come above the horizon there. As I mentioned, with the ground being the way that it is, if you go any higher you start getting this foreground in, which doesn't look the best, to be honest. And I do want to include some foreground because it's beautiful. So I'll stop waffling for now. I'm running a 5-minute exposure with a 10-stop filter in, a 0.9 soft grad polarizer, just to take the glare off the water there. We was here actually earlier on, and I'm still waffling, but we was here earlier on this afternoon and came down just to have a little look and a little bit of a recce. And you could see the colour again in that water, looked absolutely beautiful. And it was nice to just sit for 10 minutes actually and just watch. So yeah, we'll come back to you when maybe the sun's setting a little bit more, and hopefully we get some nice golden light coming on these cliffs. So there's quite a few people here now, and I'm feeling a little bit nervous talking to you, but I'm going to do my best because it's beautiful. Unfortunately, the sun is going to disappear behind a great big bank of cloud that we've got. It was too bright to see before whether it was going to do anything over there, but it's not going to. Since we last spoke, I've been running quite a few long exposures just to try and smooth all of this water out and capture some movement in the clouds. So I've been using a 10-stop and doing some 8-minute exposures, some 5-minute exposures, and they've come out really nice. Max has been flying the drone and has also taken some images as well. So I think we'll probably stick it out till sunset and just see if anything else happens, if it breaks up a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna. So whilst we wait for that, we'll put these images up for you and this drone footage, and hope you enjoy. Let us know what you think. So everyone's gone now. Breathe a sigh of relief. There's just one other guy that's hanging around, but it's not going to do anything. It's such a shame. I mean, we did get a couple of images there with some nice little bit of light on the side. Looking at the images on the camera, I am quite pleased with them. I'm running one last shot, just because it almost feels a bit like blue hour now, just to see if that gives us a different feel. So I'm currently doing a 2-minute exposure on a portrait orientation, again just using these boulders. But I don't know, there's probably, I think because there's been so many people, probably not spoken to you too much, and you don't want to get in front of other people's compositions. I, as you know, don't like the cliff edge, and I'm happy where I am. So all of the shots are either at a different focal length or a different orientation with landscape and portrait. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the images and the drone images, yes, and the drone footage. So yeah, I think we're probably going to pack up. It's not going to do anything different. That bank of clouds just going to snuff it out. So last exposure, and we'll see what happens. So apologies for going all shy on you this evening. It's not something I would normally do at all, is it?
No, you did really well. You did really well there.
We start so many videos and don't finish them because people turn up. I just have this right thing about not talking to the camera when there's anyone around. So yeah, it was just, you know, this is a place that we've sort of wanted to come to, but always had a bit of a, because of the drive back at night time, and we've probably got that same issue tonight. We're about an hour away from here, and the roads are not the best at the moment with potholes and one thing and another.
Really bad.
Really bad.
Really
so
bad.
There is a little bit of a pinkish, no, orangish hue just coming in the sky there, but we're just going to call it an evening. Hope you've enjoyed the drone footage, the drone images, and the still images as well. So yeah, there's probably not much more I can say other than hope you've enjoyed it. So take care, Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Adios.